Greetings everyone, I'm back to talk to you about creating an Adobe Spark web page. This is a part of your Create a Twitter or other math/social media class resource. The Twitter option is up here already in your assignment listing. Creating an Adobe Spark, I will also provide video on how to make that. That's what we're going to do next. Or you can do a Facebook page. If you're going to do a Facebook page, it's very similar to Twitter. I don't provide explicit instructions in that, but I will accept it as a different format if you have a Facebook for your classroom already. So without any further ado, Adobe Spark, I pasted a link here for you to have easy access to. So when you click on that link, it'll take you to this particular page. So if you don't have, or if you haven't signed up with anything Adobe Spark before, this is a free service to create a web page for either your activity, your class, whatever you want it for. And it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. It's just another way to get information to a large amount of people in a short amount of time. So we're going to continue with Google here because that's the easiest way to go about this. And it's going to ask me for my Google ID, which one would I like to use. I have a few, as you'll see. I'm going to use my school one. I've been using this for a couple of years now. I use it off and on. I usually use it to create assignments for students, and I actually have them create their own web pages based on their businesses that they make. So I use it more for assignments for kids than I actually do for mass social media type stuff. I use my Twitter account more for that. But I wanted to give you an option if you didn't want to do Twitter, you didn't want to do Facebook, because you didn't want to be on social media. This is one way to not do that and still have kind of a platform online. Okay, that's not necessarily a class management system. So to do this project, when you hit the plus here, there's going to be a few options that you can choose from. You can do just graphics, you can do just videos, but what I want to focus on today is the web pages. I'd like you to have this option as or to create a web page as an option. So there are some templates already made if you'd like to use one of those. They're right there. Those are the free ones. I'm only using the free stuff. There's paid stuff you can get, but free stuff is what I'm sticking with. Then there's also the start from scratch. So you can choose. You can choose one of those pre-made ones, and you can edit and adjust it, or you can go over to the start from scratch and select web page, and it'll load a little piece here, and the first thing it's going to ask you to do is add a title and a subtitle. So to keep it simple, and to keep going with the theme that I was doing with my Google Classroom, I'm just going to call this Accounting 1, and my subtitle might be Bean Counting for All, as a kind of a clever little piece there. And so that's going to be my main start for my title and what it is. This could be for a club, it could be for a class activity, it could be anything. I'm just using this as an example, okay? The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a photo, something that connects your students to what your topic is. There are free photos that you can find. You can upload a photo. I'm going to go find a free photo, and I'm going to type in accounting, and I'm just going to see what I can find here real quick. Looks like we have a few options, and I'm just going to pick one. Let's do the money picture here. And so now you automatically have already this compelling web page, and all you've done is put a title, a subtitle, and a picture. So if you want to keep this thing rolling, you want to keep making it dynamic, there are some pieces that I want you to add to make yours dynamic. Each one of these options here are the pieces that I'd like you to try and add. Okay? So there's the photo option, which we've already kind of done, so you've already taken care of that piece. But then there's text. If you want to add some text in here, I would like you to add some text in here, whether that's a title or a brief description of something, please do that. In addition to that, I'd like you to add a button. This is going to be a link to something else, maybe your classroom, maybe a website that you think would be functional for kids to see. I have created one of these websites for my school store, and so it has a link to the sales portion of our school store, and I'll show you that to you when I get back into our main page there. So that's another thing. So you'll name the button. Let's say we name it. I'll give it a name, and I'll give it a website, and then I'll come back. I'll pause this so you don't have to wait on me. Okay, so I'm going to use Start Here, Go Places. This is an accounting website for my students to go to when they're working in class, and so I want to make this dynamic for them and make it easy access for them too. So then I'm going to paste. I Control C, Control V'd that link in there. We can align it through the center, on the right or the left. I'm going to put it in the center, and then we're going to hit save. And there it is. You have start here, go places, and it's ready to go. So now I'm going to add my next element. Let's find a video. Again, you can just go to YouTube and add that. I'm not going to add one at this time. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Then there's the photo grid option. I do want you to try this photo grid that said you could build your grid. So if we select a few of these things, and I believe you can, yep, there it goes. You can add multiples to have your photo grid. And then I'm going to just pick those three so you can see it. I'll hit save. And then you can add your caption below, whatever your photo grid is. And so you add the caption, move on to the next piece. There's a glide show that I want you to try out as well. Again, it involves pictures. If you have a glide show, you want it to be something where the pictures are connecting like a larger piece as a whole. So it's almost like a puzzle piece connecting scenario where you glide through these videos and they all represent basically a similar theme. If you want to see how it works, you can click on this and it'll kind of show you what I was trying to explain. Like they're going to do some kind of glide show about their trip to, looks like Italy and Paris. Okay, so maybe it's to Europe. And so as they glide through their story, you have this background and it updates as you go. It's a pretty neat feature. Again, one of the reasons I like using this for a class assignment as opposed to using it to get information to people, but you can choose whichever way you want to use this, if this is the choice you're going to make, if you don't do Twitter or Facebook. Okay, I'm going to hit OK, got it. I wanted to show you that little tutorial. Let me go back in here. Okay, we're back where we were. The last thing is a split layout. So please try each one of these pieces. The split layout is going to give you an option for image and then anything else. A text, a button, a video. And then so you can make that work. I will accept if you do the split layout and you have a button and a video on one side, that can take care of 3 things at once. Okay? So I would be happy to let you do that and count that as a piece. So if you want to do the Adobe Spark, those are the main pieces that I'm looking for in the Adobe Spark. It's relatively similar to your Twitter and your Facebook. It's just not social media related. It keeps you away from that social media piece and makes it more of a web page type piece. To share this back to me, the share option is up here. Just publish and share a link. And then once you get into here, you can give it a category. Let's just call it education. And I'm going to make myself the author, and then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to create the link. And just copy that link, and you can paste that link back into your assignment listing or your assignment turn-in sheet. It looks something like this. You can just paste your link under here, and this will be updated. It won't have Adobe link or Twitter link. Okay? So that's what I want you to post there. That's what I'd like you to plug in. And you can just post it in there so I can take a look at it. I look forward to seeing what you create with this. Again, this is a pretty short video, pretty straightforward piece. You can share it through your classroom and all these other quick links. It's pretty easy to do. But for me, in this particular scenario, I'd like you to put it just back on your assignment listing or your assignment turn-in document. That was explained earlier in the intro video. Other than that, thank you for listening about Adobe Spark. Have a little fun with it, and we will see you in the next lesson.